people's attention span is shorter than a goldfish. That is crazy. A goldfish's attention span is about 12 seconds, while we as human beings right now, our attention span is down to 8 seconds. That is crazy and really explains why TikTok has been such a huge success, because the videos there is roughly about 15 seconds. That's a cool story, McBilly, but why should you care? Well, knowing that, we need to immediately craft a powerful story so that when people Google you or maybe check your social profiles, we want to make a first great, impression, and for them to immediately know, like, and trust you. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how. So this is part 2 of our social media masterclass, specifically focusing on Instagram. We will go through like a step-by-step process on how I personally use Instagram, how we've grown our agency to a multi-million-dollar agency, and we have leveraged this same strategy to help hundreds of loan officers fund over $1 billion all across the country. Now, you don't necessarily need to have watched part 1 to understand this video, but I highly recommend you check out part 1 after watching this video. We'll talk about how to use Instagram on how to grow your personal brand. And when I talk about personal brand, what I think about is trust equity. How can we immediately make sure that if people Google you and check out your accounts, they can immediately trust you and your brand? So let's just go ahead and dive right in. So let's talk about what is our 2 main key objectives here on how to leverage social media, right? So there's two key objectives for us. One is we want to work on your personal branding, meaning how do we build trust equity with your prospects and clientele? And the second is we want to tap into that $1 billion active users and tap into new lead opportunities, right? And so let's talk about how do you increase the brand trust equity, right? So, currently you guys have the unfair advantage, right? And we're generating leads, right? We're pushing them into our 1003 zone demand system, which you guys have access to. We are leveraging, we have the calendars in there. This is generating the appointments, the conversations, the applications, the pre-approvals, all the way down to a funded deal, right? So perfect. This is awesome. Obviously, this is kind of a summarized version. There's a lot of steps that we are doing here, right? With the Hero Home programs, we have videos, PDFs. We're doing a lot of the things for you, okay? Now, let me move to my iPad. So if you think about it, all right, we're doing a lot of things already here. We have the Hero Home programs, at this stage of the game right here. Even before starting the appointments, we're showing them videos, we're giving them PDFs, we're giving them everything, right? However, what's going to happen is once you start having these conversations, what do most people do? Usually what they're going to do is they are going to either Google you, right? They're going to Google you, and once they Google you, they're going to find your social media accounts, and what's going to happen is they're going to stalk you, right? They could stalk you or kind of, check out, hey, is this guy the real deal? Whatever, right? Now, this is like an amplifier, because what you need to do is we need to control that conversation. We need to control that narrative, right? Where if they find you, you should be able to check off on the know, like, and trust aspect and be able to be likable, be real enough, but they need to see that, oh, this guy's the real deal, right? This person's the real deal. And so this is a person that I want to work with, right? And so, and then same thing, right? I mean, throughout this whole process, they're going to be doing that, right? And so, but what are the things that we can, that's like, this one is like, if we're waiting on them to take action, right? They got to Google you, they got to check their social media accounts. The other aspect of this is, how do we force them to check our social media accounts, right? How do we force them so that we give them, hey, we are a likable person, we're a real person, we are experts at our field, right? I mean, honestly, for you guys, this is what we do, right? You guys probably have checked out my Instagram. I don't know how many of you guys have done that, but I'll show you guys what my actual account is. This is what we do for our own business. And that's why, the strategies that I'm sharing here, I've never seen anyone else teach it this way. Like, I've developed this myself. We've developed this ourselves. So the other thing is, what you could do is, as long as we have an optimized account, right, we could add social links to your email signature, right? Meaning we're going to force them, hey, we've optimized your accounts to convert as much as possible on they get to know you, they get to like you, and they get to trust you, right? So, hey, how do we force that on them, right? Now, here's the other thing. Here's the other cool thing about this. Not only is this going to help you on the conversion side, on those conversations, they're going to start believing like, hey, I want to work with, David. I like him. He's a real cool dude, and he actually knows what he's doing. And check his social, it makes sense, right? Now, here's the other aspect of this. After all this process here, we're ultimately going to fund this deal, right? Now, here's the thing, yes, it's a funded deal, but ultimately, I don't want you to think about this as a deal. I want you to think about this as a client, right? This is a person. So this is your customer right here. And so what do you want to do at this point? If you guys notice, what we do is we add you as a friend in Facebook. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but we add you as a Facebook friend because we want to create a real relationship, right? We want to create a real relationship. And so what I want you guys to do, and what you should do, is once they become a client, you should add them as a real friend. Sorry, my handwriting here. In your personal, right? This is going to be your personal FB and IG account, okay? Not your business page. I don't care about your business page because your business page doesn't have visibility. So you want to add them as that. And the reason why this is important, and I'll actually make it better in my handwriting, but again, you want to add in FB personal page and IG. But what happens here? Because if you guys are friends now, as you keep posting, it doesn't need to be business, right? It doesn't need to be business. 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 year from now, you make a post and they see you. And what happens? You are top of mind, right? Top of mind because they see you, and there's certain triggers. This is actually an interesting concept. Let me ask you guys this. What do you guys believe which of the two has the highest word of mouth conversation, right? So Disney World, which is like this amazing, amazing experience, versus Honey Nut Cheerios, like the cereal, right? I mean, give me an answer. Which one do you think gets recommended the most? Which one do you think gets the highest word of mouth? Anybody? What do you guys think? Disneyland or Honey Nut Cheerios?
Disney.
Sorry, what was that?
Disney.
We're saying something, Kiana?
Disney.
All right, great answer. Okay, great answer. So that's actually what I think as well. So absolutely, right? If you think about it, Disney has all the formula of being viral and being easily shared, right? And this is actually from a book called Contagious, really great book. Talks about what makes things go viral, what makes things easily shareable, right? So I also thought it's Disney, but the correct answer is actually Honey Nut Cheerios, which is like just a regular cereal. It's boring. Like, why? Why would a regular boring cereal be more shareable, higher word of mouth, and go viral versus Disney, which is an amazing experience? And the reason is triggers, okay? The trigger. So let me explain why. If you think about it, we as human beings, we have so much only attention span, right? We can only think of something if it's associated with something else, okay? Now, Disney, even though it's an amazing experience, you don't really think about, there's not much triggers that think about Disney for me, right? Maybe if you go to Florida, maybe you go to Orlando, you kind of think about Disney. But every single day during breakfast, we think about cereal, right? We think about Honey Nut Cheerios, apparently. And they actually looked at some stats on Twitter. The most mentions of Honey Nut Cheerios is between the time of 5 a.m. to 11 a.m., which, just kind of coincides with this idea of whatever is top of mind whenever you have a trigger, that's when you correlate it with the person, the brand, or the product. Okay. So what this means is we want you to be always top of mind, and you just want to build that real connection, right? Real relationship with your clientele. Okay. And so, again, you just want to add them in, and this is how we're able to leverage this idea. Okay. So let's see. I'm going to go back to my presentation on the PowerPoint. But does that make sense, guys? Like you see how amazing that is? It's actually kind of mind blowing that, wow, Honey Nut Cheerios is more shared than Disney. So let's go back here. And so, all right, play from the slide. All right, so again, how to increase brand equity? So basically, again, your prospects will eventually Google you, check your social media. So your online footprint should be aligned with your identity and marketing message, right? We want to force prospects and clients to stalk your social, add your social media links to email signatures, add prospects to your personal FB and IG. And also for the people that just came on board, we have part 1 of this that I talk about Facebook and the overall strategy. Hit up our client success team and we'll send you the replay on that. Okay. And then once they become your client, you should add them in Facebook and Instagram in your personal account. Okay. Now, part 2 of this is how do we get organic free lead opportunities in Instagram, right? And again, Instagram has 1 billion active users, and there's 2 ways that we could do this. One is we want to optimize our SEO so that we can be searchable and get new lead opportunities. And then the second is we want to optimize our hashtag strategy so that we can eventually get more visibility into our account to eventually convert into a prospect and a client, right? So, all right, so how do we do this? So, we talked about, this is basically it. So you optimize your account for SEO. So people searching for you will find your profile. We want to leverage the hashtag strategy in Instagram to be able to get visibility on your desired ideal prospects. And here's the most important thing, right? The most important thing is you need to optimize your IG profile to act as a sales page, right? So that cold traffic will be motivated to take action and schedule on your calendar as a new lead opportunity. There's no point in getting visibilities if the place that you're sending it to is not really converting, right? Now you're just kind of wasting opportunities. So, all right, so let's talk about best practice for optimizing IG profile. And I'll show you everything that I personally do. So convert your personal, this is the first thing. I want to ask every single person here, if you have an Instagram account, there's a high likelihood that it is a personal account. You need to convert this to a business account, and you could just do this in your settings. Reason being is you just get more, you just get more stuff on the business account, meaning you get more analytics. And I'll show you guys, I could actually see, hey, how many people clicked on this? How many people went forward on the story? How many people went back? How many people visited my profile, blah, blah. And then number 2 is you want to optimize your IG name for SEO purposes so that we could be searchable. We want to optimize your IG profile photo. There's some science behind this, plus your bio for conversion. You want to optimize your IG link to include your scheduling link. And, you could, you want to leverage your Hero Home program link here. And you want to optimize your story highlights by creating evergreen stories that builds trust equity within your ideal prospects. And again, this is key here. We want to build evergreen content, right? Meaning we want the least amount of effort and time that gives us the most highest impact, meaning we want to build something that we only do once that can work for us forever, right? And then we want to leverage hashtags in your posts to optimize for visibility for new lead opportunities, okay? So let's dive in. So optimizing your IG name for SEO purposes. So this is pretty straightforward, but not a lot of people actually know this, that you can edit your name in Instagram and then you could put a tag, a dash, and then put the keyword that people are searching for. So here's an example. This is my actual account. If you look at my account in Instagram, I have McBilly Sai dash marketing expert. And if you literally search marketing expert, there's algorithms here that you're gonna this is a little bit like different than Google, right? I just want to clarify this. The algorithm with Instagram is if you guys have a relationship, let's say, maybe you follow them or they're following you, or maybe you've had some sort of interaction, you immediately get a boost in SEO. Meaning if I search for marketing expert, you could see I'm ranking there for marketing expert. So like how amazing that is that. So what you guys want to do is just literally just put, your name dash, put mortgage expert, right? Mortgage expert, it could be mortgage loan officer. You could put like mortgage loan officer. I would recommend mortgage expert, but just put a keyword in there to immediately give you an SEO boost in Instagram. And then optimizing your IG profile photo. I talked about this on our part 1, but the most important key thing here is this needs to have your face. Very, very important, right? And it needs to have your face. You need to be smiling, positive, professional photo. And this is a little bit more less strict. You could be in a business setting, you could be family setting, personal setting. Again, as long as you're able to convey the know, like, and trust, those 3 formula, you're good. But here's the most important thing here is you do not want to use just a location, object, item. I've seen, other people just use kind of like random things, maybe their motorcycle, they're passionate about it. Don't do that. People want to connect with real people, and you want to include something that is relatable, right? Now with this one, with Instagram, it's a little bit different. You also want it to pop, okay? Because if you look at your stories, like those small things, it's such a small, it looks really small versus like, for example, in Facebook that it's a little bit bigger, okay? Now, and then optimizing your IG bio for conversion. All right, so if you think about it, I'll just kind of show you guys real quick what an IG bio looks like. And it's like this, right? So when you open up your Instagram account, you're gonna see immediately here that there's a bio, okay? And so you could see here this is basically like your elevator pitch, right? Immediately, again, right now in the social media age, people have very short attention spans, okay? And it's quite interesting. There's actually a study right now that we as human beings, we have shorter attention spans than a goldfish, which is like mind-blowing. A goldfish attention span is 12 seconds, right? For us now, we have an 8-second attention span. Like that is literally crazy to me. And so what you want is like when people open your account, you immediately get, they immediately see like an elevator pitch and who you are, what you're about, right? And so this is an example of mine, but basically what you want, this should answer the question of what do you want people to know about you within the first 30 seconds of them visiting your profile, right? So there's 3 things that you want to add in here, okay? So the first thing is your, we help or I help statement, okay? So this statement right here it just defines what exactly do you do, right? So basically, we help X with X by doing X without X, right? So if you look at my example, we help loan officers add millions of funded loans per month guaranteed, okay? Very straightforward. You immediately know what we do, okay? And then, an alternative example of this, proud father, mom, I help first home buyers get their dream home, message me, something like that. But this is actually more of an example for Facebook. But this one needs to be concise, okay? So, and then the other 2 parts of this, very important, is you can add like 3 pillars, okay? So meaning you just add like, hey, what are the three things that you're all about, right? So here's an example. You could put home ownership, mortgage, personal wealth, right? And then you could even put in here, whatever you're passionate about. You could be like, proud father, home ownership, building wealth, right? Something to that effect, like a quick, hey, I know what this guy is all about. And then you want to add authority builders, right? This is very important. Whatever something that you could add as immediate authority that can help you. It could be like, hey,
have you ever
100.
checked out cryptocurrency?
Okay, so let's make sure that we meet those. And then so 100 plus 5-star reviews, awards, and then awards, right? And then, so yeah, you could see here, I have like 0 to 7-figure agency owner. We help loan officers add millions of funded loans per month, guaranteed. And then there's a call to action here, which is what I'll discuss next. But basically what you want to do is, you want to think of like a quick, update your bio. And then you want to optimize your IG with a link with a specific call to action, right? And then you could see here, because IG is like social media, it kind of has its own like lingo. The emojis work really well because it's instant, and like you immediately know what it's all about. And so you could see, you could add like an emoji that's pointing down, learn how, and then you could just link to your Hero Home Program's calendar page, right? So very straightforward, but you want to immediately do that. And then here's the IG highlights, okay? So how the IG highlights work is you want to, so first of all, like Instagram stories has one of the highest engagements in Instagram, which means people actually watch them. I'm sure you guys watch them, right? You probably watch them, like it's very engaging and it's very interesting. I get a ton of replies and comments and messages for my IG stories, while my post in Instagram is kind of like basically dead. There's not much engagement there. But my Instagram stories, there's a high amount of engagement. But every time, but very time consuming to constantly create stories, right? Obviously. So you want to create evergreen stories and convert them to highlights. So basically, if you look at my account, this is what it looks like. You basically want to create this and you kind of want to categorize them, right? So I have like results, impact, travels, life, work. Now, if you look at my account, it's going to look like this. When you open my account, immediately there's like results, impact, travel, life, work. So if you click this, it will automatically open up my my recorded stories, right? So I'll show you guys what mine is, but here's just to kind of give you guys some ideas. This is what it can be for you guys, okay? So you could literally just be like about me, client reviews, right? Just screenshot, your Google reviews, your Zillow reviews, any customer review that you guys had, or like an amazing experience. You could put my story, right? What made you get into, mortgage? How long have you been in the industry? You've helped like hundreds of nurses. You focus on helping firefighters, right? Like kind of tying into like the Hero Home program. And again, stories sell, right? This is why like people do business with people that have purpose behind them, right? So your story is very important. And then FAQs, right? You could talk about frequently asked home buyer questions, right? It could be results, it could be home buyer advice, right? Quick advice. But again, you only need to shoot this once and you can just put it in there and then you don't even need to think about it. Like it's been so long, I haven't even updated my IG highlights for so long, but I'll show you guys what mine actually looks like. And so if you open up my profile, boom, immediately, you see my bio again, huge, authority rare. There's like an authority builder there, 7-figure agency owner, what we're about. And then there's call to action. And then there's this, right? So obviously the most highest clicked one is going to be this first one. So I'll show you guys what mine is. So I'll play this and it's actually going to play a video. What's up guys? Mick Billy here, Mick Leads from Good Vibe Squad. Now, if you're watching this, you're probably trying to figure out how do you consistently and predictably generate leads that actually convert to real business, right? Well, I know what you're thinking. Who's this guy? Is this real? Is this worth my time? I mean, is the next couple of minutes even worth your time, right? Well, don't take it from me, guys. Take it from the hundreds of clients who we've already helped. Here's a behind the scenes look at what our clients are doing, what type of results they're actually seeing, whether it's good or bad, and how they're doing it, right? At the end of the day, results is all that matters. So check them out. And then, so yeah, I mean, just giving you guys an idea there. But essentially, and if you guys see, honestly, that video is like 2.5 years ago. I haven't touched that video for so long. Well, to be honest, I probably need to update that at this point. But you could see the power of this is I'm focusing on like least amount of effort with like high leverage results, right? You guys just need to shoot this once, put that in your account, never need to think about it ever again. And then, I have like impacts. I've updated some of these just to kind of show you guys what it should look like. So if you look at impact, this is just straight up. These are like some old ones. This is actually Xavier, tagging me on this. And then, I shared about, our masterclass, shared about this. So honestly, like giving behind the scenes is really powerful. And then just putting like screenshots, right? Again, screenshot your client testimonials, screenshot the wins. Hey, you have some clients that, you were able to close in like, X amount of days, awesome things, right? Just share those. And then, you just put it in there. And then that's it. You never have to think about it ever again, right? And so that's really where that power is. And then keep in mind, the reason why this is very effective is because people not only do they need to see that they could trust you, that you know what you're doing, but they need to like you, right? They need to be able to connect with you. And this is why adding like life, family stuff in here is very, very important. I promise you. And I mean, I could even ask you guys, Michael, he even shared this on one of our calls. He basically said, like, guys, like I've been talking to so many marketing agencies, and the reason why I chose you guys specifically, why I chose Good Vibe Squad, is because I saw you, I saw your video, like you're on a shirt, you're just wearing like hat, like a regular hat, like you're just like real dudes, right? Versus like, being in like suits and whatever. Now, if that is who you are, that you're wearing suits and everything, that's also perfect, right? You just need to show who you are as a person so that you will naturally attract the people that gravitate towards who you are as an identity, right? So yeah, and then I have family. This is very important. You want to share like family stuff, behind the scenes stuff, because people connect with it, right? Of course. And I'm not just sharing that because for business purposes. Like I legitimately, it's very important to me. Like family to me is very important, right? And so yeah, so that's kind of a behind the scene there, showing you what I actually have. All right. So again, ideas for your highlights, and you don't need to overcomplicate this. To be honest, you just need three. Just need 3 posts in there, and 3 posts in there. About me. You put some customer reviews, and then it could be an FAQ. You just FAQ and then story, right? I'm talking about 3 items inside a category is what I mean. Okay. I'm not saying just 3 of these. I would recommend at least 4, because that kind of like fills up the actual like Instagram, so it doesn't look like it's empty. And then all right, so let's move on. So yep, so again, this is where you can make great first impressions. And then really you just want to answer the question, how can people get to know you better? How can people like you better? How can people trust you better? Okay. And then you want to compile your photos under 3 categories. You want to have some personal photos, you want to have some business photos, you want to have some high status photos. And I talk about this in detail on our part 1. But I'll, because a lot of people have not watched that, I'll kind of give you guys a little bit of context. But essentially, if you think about it, the personal photos, this is just like your family, hobby, passions that people can connect with. The business photos just show that, hey, you are working, they could trust you. You have that authority there. You could put photos that you're in the closing table. You could do selfies, or maybe you're teaching, maybe you're at the office, right? High status photos are, people, if you think about it, people gravitate towards other people that are on an upward trajectory. Okay. And so you want to put high status photos, and high status photos could just be like you traveling, right? Because that's something that people want to do. If you have awards, if you have a network, if you are, speaking, for example. So, for example, for me, these are some examples, right? So this is your personal photo. I have a family photo, and this family photo is actually a combination. This is a family photo, but it's also a status photo because it shows that we're scuba diving, right? It shows that I have the capability to travel. I like to travel, and this is like a family photo. Again, family, we're traveling. And then this is business, right? So this photo, this is like over 3 years ago. This is when, especially when I was starting out, no one trusts me, right? Like no one trusts you, like they don't know who you are. And so, this was a class that I did teaching Facebook ads actually to mortgage loan officers. And so, if you're teaching something, if you're on a class, make sure you get photos of these. Okay. This is very important because you're able to like leverage them for social media to create status. Okay. And again, it's not like we're faking this, by the way, right? This is real. What I'm saying is we need to make it easily digestible that when they check your account, they immediately see this. So we control that narrative, right? Because once again, we have very short attention span, right? And so we want to immediately serve this on a silver platter to our prospects. And then, this is our office. So you could see, we have a huge team. These are literally all the teams, not even all, part of the team that really serve you guys. And so, just kind of showing that this is an award that we got. Preston and I received a 2 Comma Club award, meaning we were able to earn $1 million using one funnel, right? So this is a marketing thing. So, and then this is with another thing that you could do to get status would be to associate yourself with another high status individual, right? So here's an example. This is Gary Vaynerchuk, right? So, this photo, just if you don't know who I am, Gary Vaynerchuk. Well, the fact that I'm associated with him, you immediately see like, oh shit, this guy's probably somebody, right? And so, this was actually this was in Miami, where Preston and I went because he spoke at Gary's event, right? So it just shows status. And so, and then, again, so speaking, this is with us with Barry Habib. So again, kind of same idea. If you guys don't know who we are, this is when we spoke. We spoke with Barry Habib on this event. So, obviously, some of these, it's going to take time to get there. However, here's what I would challenge you guys. Think of someone that is a high status individual in your local area, right? Can you connect with the mayor, right? Can you connect with the whatever, right? Like a local celebrity or a local high status person, right? Maybe get a photo with the mayor, maybe get a photo of the congressman, whatever, right? But that's just something to kind of think about with for you guys to be able to instantly be able to show high status through social media. Okay. And again, I'm not faking that, right? That's real. We just want to serve it in silver platter. All right. Now let's talk about leveraging IG hashtags. Okay. So the best way to gain visibility in your Instagram posts is to add hashtags of relevant topics in your posts. So when you make an Instagram post, here's the hack here is you want to put up at least 25 hashtags in your comment. In the comment of your own post. Okay. In the comment of your own post. And here's the thing. What a lot of people, this is a huge mistake that a lot of people do is they just focus on like the big hashtags, right? So for example, mortgage, hashtag mortgage. Well, duh, that's literally like, I don't know, maybe like that's a 10 million, that has like 10 million people that are posting on that. So you will not get visibility there. I guarantee you, especially in the beginning. So what you want to do is you want to focus on, if I'm categorizing them, I'm categorizing them in like 4 different categories. And so the large ones would be, more than a million, right? And then you have medium, which is about 500,000. And then the small is like 100K to like 500K. And then the niche is like below 100,000, right? So what I want, don't do the large. What I would say, like, just use one large. But I personally always use the niche and small. Actually, yeah, you want to focus more on like the niche and small, because the max that I focus is like more than 500,000. That way I get higher chances to get visibility, right? Because if there's more people going there, well, it's very saturated, right? I would just post maybe like one large, one medium, and then, more niche, right? Uh, Breeze, like, if you ever need, I think you should post that in the all channel, Bree, what not to do in Instagram. And then here's the other thing. This is more of a side note. You also want to be careful of using banned hashtags. There's banned hashtags, and you could check if the hashtag is banned by just going to this link. It's iqhashtags.com /banned. And you could basically just check, hey, is this hashtag banned? And then, so here's an example. And the other mistake that a lot of people do is they post the hashtag in the actual posts. I don't like doing that, because it just it makes your post very dirty, in the sense it just looks spammy. Especially if you're going to be putting 25 hashtags, right? So here's an example of this. This was my post. And then on the comment itself, then this is where you would want to put like the hashtags, right? So you could see, loan officer, mortgage broker, mortgage loan officer, blah, blah, blah. And so obviously for me, I'm targeting the loan officer industry for us. And so for you guys, it would be like first time home buyers, right? How to buy my house, how to get a mortgage, right? Something like that. And so that's really where you want to be focusing on, right? Does that make sense? Cool. So yeah, so to wrap up on this, so here's the main thing is you want to do a personal audit on your IG account. Now, we talked about a lot of things, right? You want to do a personal audit in your IG account, and you want to create your IG optimized bio description to create authority, right? And you want to update your IG with the link to your Hero Home Programs page and start creating your evergreen IG story highlight reels, okay? And then you want to start leveraging hashtags in your IG posts. So there you have it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this full masterclass on social media. And if you did, go ahead and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on future videos just like this one. And like this video, I would really appreciate that. Now, if you haven't watched part 1 yet, go ahead and check out these other videos. And I'm very excited for you to really implement this. If you have questions, put it in the comments right below this video. And I will talk with you soon. Catch you in the next one.